One of those is 1500 cold cranking amps. I think between one big one and those two little ones we ought to be able to do it. Man, oh man, what a sad state for a rig. This one have been a unit back in the day. It's been several years ago since Dad bought this truck. We had high hopes of cleaning it up and driving it, but life got in the way a little bit. This truck's been sitting here for 3 or 4 years, so I tried starting it about 6 months ago, and I didn't have enough battery powder to do it, so we'll do a little overview on it once we get it back to the house. See how many wasps come out of this thing. I know for a fact our batteries aren't any good, but we have converted this truck to an electric fuel pump, so we got that going good for us. We had a air cleaner rust problem when we first bought it, but let's get them other 2 batteries put in here. And I'm gonna run jumper cables to the big battery on the bed of my truck and another pair to my truck itself. We'll see what it'll do. It gets weed eated around every once in a while, but don't help with the weeds. Oil's not too bad. We haven't run it since we changed the oil over 5, 6 years ago. Left one cable off last time. Yeah, 31's just too tall. Sometimes you gotta have a weed eater for a rescue mission, and sometimes you gotta have a chainsaw for a rescue mission. Alright, we got them hooked up. This battery here ain't in the best of shape, but it'd probably start a gas burner or something. This one seems to be in better shape. The Group 31's a little bit too tall for it, but it ain't like we're gonna be driving it down the road none too quick, so it'll do for this. Then I got some good jumper cables I made out of welding lead. They're about 25 foot long. I got them run over here to our other truck we revived. We got 2 good batteries in there. But then I got the Hoss 1500 cranking amps. Dad's got a pair of jumper cables he also made, but they're only about 10, 12 foot long. Make them 20s if you build them out of welding lead. They can handle 20 foot. So it ought to turn it over or weld the starter up, one of the two. We're just gonna turn our key on. Now I remember last time we had disconnected the glow plugs because They're brand new, and we didn't want to burn them up. We knew it wasn't going to start just by itself anyway. And we got some of the glow plug holes, the cavity where they sit is full of water back there, so that'll short your controller out and cause it to not work just right anyway. So, and like I said, we have converted this rig over to an electric fuel pump under the frame. So all we got to do with the key on, it's got no air in it, believe it or not. But we pulled our wire off, and I'm gonna put an alligator clip on it, or we ain't gotta be in the cab to start it. Make sure your truck's in neutral. And hook it on that side and touch it to the battery. Don't hook it to the battery to touch that side, because I made that mistake once and got some alligator leads hot. Get Dad to sit in the cab and hold us some throttle on it. Got our intake pulled off where we can put the slightest kiss of ether. If you don't know, it's not great to start these ones on ether. You'll hydrolock one quick. Any more than that, you can hydrolock one of these. So got to be careful with the ether on these, especially when we got so many amps going to the starter. I've heard stories of the bent rods before. But just like when we got this truck back running, we may have to pull the valve cover off and tap on the valves and get them moving again. You gotta have at least a few cylinders hitting good for it'll really start up. Well, let's see what it'll do, I guess. We didn't get a single hit off of it. I can guarantee you already we got to pull that valve cover off. We ain't even gonna go no further. And the Louisiana humidity got a little bit of rust starting on them. Nothing too bad though. All right, we got us a pretty good piece of wood here. We're gonna come down here on the valve side and tap it a few times. Not nothing crazy, because one piston might be at the top of the cylinder. Go down here and do that through all 8 of them. Just tap on it. See, that's a stuck valve right there. Oh no, never mind. The other thing you got a problem with is your lifters. They sit for so long without oil in them, they have trouble pumping up. We may have to pour some oil down there. These take so much compression to fire off. So every little bit of trash or gunk holding them valves, they'll get just the slightest bit of rust or something on, they won't allow this thing to fire. You got your throttle? Let's try again. Alright, I got over here and pulled the passenger side valve cover off. Removed it halfway out of the way. Had to take the fuel filter off. But the rocker is too close to the AC box, so you ain't got enough room to wiggle it out of there. But we tapped on all those the same way. Let's see what it'll do now. Alright, we ended up pulling the passenger side valve cover off and doing the same thing to it. You can't get it all the way off, of course, because of the AC box. And I wound on it a pretty good bit. Never could get it to do nothing. I kept playing with it and couldn't get it to start, so I cracked the injector lines and we wasn't getting any fuel, so the metering rack and the pump was actually stuck. That took a bit of doing to get free, but I was trying to do it in a hurry, so I didn't get a video of it, but I'm sure we're going to be doing that again at some point regardless. Let's see what it'll do now. I got okay. Got a decent bit there. I can't see or nothing. What's that? Truck's missing fuel. years ain't been kind to it. The old injection pump's gummed up, so it needs to be run now. I guess I'll button up the valve covers and all, and let's see if she'll move. Oh, it's been about 4 years since she's moved from that spot. Let's see if the transmission will still do it. I guess now we can mow that instead of weed eating it once every 6 months. Those tracks are a good 2 inches deeper. We gotta wind her out a little bit. She set for a minute, and the injection pump needs a good cleaning. It ought to clean up the smoking though. But she pulled off her maiden voyage on pulling a little bit of weight. That truck probably weighed somewhere around 7,000. She did really good. Something about that cabin chassis spring setup rides a little bit better than Maria did. I had to do some research into that. Let's get started on this grime. I don't have much time to get on it today, but we'll probably split it in a couple of videos. I don't know if this truck's been repainted or what. Poor old clear coat's coming off of it. I bet it would have shined up nice if that had stayed on there. .2018's the inspection sticker on it last. This old tripod's getting shorter and shorter. What a rig, what a rig. Like I said, it's been parked for like 4 years, I think, since Dad bought it. When he got it, we put new headlights, a new grill in it. Oddly enough, you couldn't buy the Ford emblem for the grill. So, I still have yet to figure out what to do there. I think we put new calipers and brake pads on the front at the time. We fixed all the running lights on it. Every light on it but the cab lights is new. And I have a set to go on it, so we need to do that. It's got the old chrome covers on all the wheels. It's got running boards longer than most trucks are. They're in good shape too. Got a little ding we need to straighten out on that edge, but not bad at all. I don't know how much of it was put in it. Need to peel the old tin out of some of the windows. This was a cruiser at one point in time. It's got power windows in the front, regular roll-up ones in the back. Poor old carpet seen better days now. Don't know whether that's 96, 196, 296. Don't know. Somebody put a steering wheel cover on it. This old girl's got cruise. I'm used to seeing the gray and red interiors with the chrome strip on it. I got some junk in here I gotta take out. You got your old ashtray. Check that out. As the story goes, when we bought it, this gear set was in the back seat. It's supposed to have been changed out to 456s. I don't know whether it has or not. I gotta sit down and count those. Somebody piled them in grease, so they reuse old bearings or what. So we're gonna have to end up checking out that rear end before we really get to running it. Something, I don't know if it was supposed to have been like that, but you know, usually in these crew cabs you have your seat belt, but that one's like that for some reason. But out of all the trucks we've owned, this has probably been the straightest one. There's not a dent or a ding anywhere in this sheet metal. It's been painted before, of course, but some of that blue is even looking purple under the clear coat. So she's definitely a paint job project coming up. Somebody went through and added all the chrome pieces to it. I think we're gonna have to abandon the sliding glass. There ain't much left of that one. I don't even know if you can get the parts for it or not. It's even got the short extension there where you can stand up and get in your toolbox. They put the diamond plate on top of the bed. The only problems you see on this whole truck, they cut the fiberglass out to run the mud flaps like that. I wish they hadn't have done that, but we can probably fix it. Look at that bumper. I wish they still made them like that. It's got one little ding right here. Still straight as could be though. This fender does have a hole in it. That one's probably still fixable though. See, that's how they cut it out for the mud flap. These running boards are good over here too. The only real problem you see is they had that black mat in here to protect it, but it did more harm than good, honestly. It's still pretty solid, but it's got a bunch of rust pit in there. A feller could take the time and weld up all the pits, but we'll have to decide on that. I do have a bed I can cut that out of. It's been up on the outside. They must have loaded a foiler at one time and hit the center. One of them old cheap gooseneck tailgates. Probably because they backed into something with the normal tailgate. That was the fix for that back in the day. I don't know if these seats have been redone. Surely to goodness they have, or came out of another truck. That's crazy. I don't guess I paid attention to that before. I've never seen one of these trucks with the seat still good. Even that one's good. Usually they'll swap the front for the back. We're fixing to start cleaning it up a little bit. Like I said, we got to figure out how good a shape that rear end's in. Don't know whether they done that right or not. And we're going to have to keep an eye on the old C6 to start with. We haven't done any amount of driving to know what kind of shapes it in. Just putting around the yard mainly. One day I'm going to break out the whole paint gun and we'll layer a few layers on it. That'd be a sharp truck clean back up. I would have liked to seen some pictures back when it was painted. This was back when you could buy a truck for probably $24,000 or something. Those days are long gone. If I don't talk him into a flatbed, we're gonna shine this old box up and put on it. That box is huge. Ain't got no dents in it either. One day we're gonna get both of them cleaned up. Maria's gonna be my flagship. That's gonna be Dad's. I think we'll have a lot of fun with this one too. But anyway, thank y'all for watching me drag up another piece of junk. Sorry, I mean rescue it.